you, Marcel. Um, who else have we got here? Oh, I've got a few of my clients here. Rob, Thomas. I love it. Great to see you. Just give me a yes in the chat if you was here yesterday, and give me a no if you wasn't here yesterday. You only registered for day two. Kenneth was here. Marcel was here. Beautiful. Okie dokie. While we're waiting for more people to join, Thomas wasn't here. Discipline equals victory. I love that name. Wasn't here. Okay, cool. After this, if you can, I would definitely watch the recording of day one. Oh, you caught up already. See, you already beat me to it. Beautiful. I love that. Okie dokie. Before we yesterday, it was all about identifying the goal, right? You know, let's you imagine that you're a plane. You can't get to a destination if you don't know where the destination is. And that might sound super simple, but you'll be surprised. 97 out of every 100 people do not have a clearly defined goal. You know, they say they want more money, but I mean, what does that mean? You go outside and you find a pound coin or a dollar. I mean, that's more money, right? So it's all about identifying your clearly your C type goal. And then today is bridging the gap. Like, how do you do it? Now you set this massive goal. What are the steps that you've got to take to manifest that goal into your physical results? I'm assuming that's why we're all here, right? We want better results. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. I mean, I always want better results. I'm doing phenomenal in life, but we're either going forward or we're going backward. The law of vibration says that nothing in this universe stays still. So when I hear someone say, you know what, Joel, I've just reached 100K a month, like I'm quite all right now. Well, you're not going to stay at 100K a month if you've not got a new goal. You know, we always need new goals so we can always grow. I would love to know though, for those of you that attended day one, and for those of you that have watched the recording, what was your biggest takeaway? Let me know in the chat. I'd love to know what. I know it was a lot, and that's why we have the worksheet so you can actually implement it. I don't just want to be giving you information. I want you to take action so you can message me and say, Joel, I'm seeing results. Okay, my background looks so plain right now. I mean, I'm in the process of moving house, so I've been gutting out this house, ready to move into a new one. But yeah, what was your biggest takeaway from yesterday? Let me know in the chat. Do not set yourself small goals, understanding that if you truly believe it, anything is possible. Yeah. C-type goals. Yeah. So one of the biggest things from yesterday, right, is understanding what a goal is, right? You know, a goal is something that you're going after that you've never done before. So if you've already got like a Lamborghini, your goal can't be to get the same Lamborghini. That doesn't mean that you can't go and get the same Lamborghini, but it doesn't constitute a goal. A goal is something that we're going after that we've never done before. You know, when I set a goal, if it doesn't scare me, I know I'm on the wrong track because I'm not going to grow. Think about it. If you're going to grow as an individual, if you want to grow your bicep, you've got to go in the gym and you've got to make it very uncomfortable. Would you agree? Right? If we're doing light weights all day, every day, then your biceps not going to grow. Okay. So as you're going through this process, is it going to feel uncomfortable? 100% it's going to feel uncomfortable because nothing great happens in your comfort zone. I want you to make a decision that when you feel that fear, when you feel, wow, I'm scared right now, you go and do it. That means you're going to grow. When you come to make big decisions in your life, it is going to be scary. Now, the truth is, it's actually exciting and it's scary at the same time, right? It excites you because on a conscious level, it's what you want, and it scares you because on a subconscious level, you've just never been there before. You've never been there before. Okay. Did we identify our C-type goals? Give me a yes in the chat if you actually went through the worksheet, you implemented it. I've been speaking to a lot of you on WhatsApp, giving you support on, little tweaks to your goal and how to make it better, more specific, so your subconscious mind picks up on it. I love that. Remember, ideas are worthless unless we act on them. I'd write that down. I used to be that guy that used to watch Bob Proctor on YouTube. I'd read The Secret, I'd read Think and Grow Rich, and I'd just read it and just tell people, yeah, like I'm getting smarter, but I'd never take action. Like if Bob Proctor told me to do something, I'd just never do it. And then I wondered why 6 years later, I'm still earning the same amount of money, not living where I want to live, not got the watch that I want, not got the car that I want, because I had all of these great ideas coming to me, but the fear and the fact that it was uncomfortable and I wasn't programmed to take action, it completely stopped me in my tracks. Can anyone relate to that? Some of you might be in sales, right? Like you read all these sales books, you know how to take sales calls, but then you just don't act on what the book tells you to do. Like the book tells you, you've got to be confident when you ask for the sale. Like you've got to get to the person's pain points. You've got to show them what the transformation is going to look like. And we just don't take action on it. We let that terror barrier come up and we feel that scared feeling. And then we retreat again. It's very common. I don't know why my hand keeps coming up. My hand's not yellow, it's brown. Um, so today we really want to get into something which is called the knowing doing gap, and also attitude. If you're going to build an incredible business, you're going to have an incredible attitude. But we're going to break down the composites of what attitude is. Most people don't really know what your attitude is made up of. But first, let's start with a knowing doing gap. We've got our goal. If you haven't, that's not a problem. Watch the day one recording. Join the WhatsApp group. I'll send you the link to join the WhatsApp group if you haven't. I've created a whole worksheet for the event so you can actually go to it after the event, after each day, and implement what we're teaching. Believe me, information without implementation is useless. This is like someone that's obese. They've got a friend that's in incredible shape, and the friend goes, right, here's your diet plan, here's your workout plan, here's what exercises you do. You're going to go into a 10% calorie deficit. You're going to drink 5 liters of water. That obese person has all the information. They know exactly what to do. If they don't act on it, if they don't actually go and buy the water, if they don't stick to that meal plan, if they don't show up at the gym, all that information that they've got in their mind is absolutely useless. Would you agree? So it's about taking massive action. In this manifestation industry, sometimes you hear, you just sit in bed and you visualize lots of money and it falls on your lap. Hell no. That ain't going to work, right? The way it really works, and what most people probably won't tell you, is that our thoughts are frequencies. And when we think about something, we attract that thing to us, but it's through our actions, our physical movements, that we receive it. But let's get into the knowing doing gap, right? Now you've got this big goal. How do we achieve it? I've got a great quote here by a guy called John Ruskin. And it says, education does not mean teaching people what they do not know. I am not here to teach you what you do not know. This is an incredible quote. Education means teaching people to behave as they do not behave. That's real education. It's not teaching people what they don't know. It's teaching people to behave as they don't behave. Now, if you think about your business right now, right? You're doing things in your business, in your life that you don't want to do. It's giving you results that you don't want to be getting. But for some strange reason, you keep doing it. I mean, give me a yes in the chat. You're doing things that you don't want to do. It's getting you results that you don't want to get, but we're doing it. I mean, let's go back. I mean, this isn't, fat shaming or anything. I love every single person, but let's go back to an obese person again. The obese person wants to lose weight. They want to lose weight. They go on a diet. They take all the, I don't know, Maltesers out of the fridge. They take all the chocolates out of the house, right? And they go on a diet, they get in the gym. And then a week later, they're out with the friends and they see that big juicy cheesecake. They don't want the result that that cheesecake is going to give them. They don't want the result, but they go ahead and eat the cheesecake anyway. And then the friend turns around and goes, "Why the fuck did you just eat that cheesecake?" And the person goes, "Well, I don't know." And the friend says, "Well, you don't want the result that that cheesecake's going to give you, right?" And they say, "No." "So why did you eat the cheesecake?" And the person goes, "Well, I don't know." Right? We've all been there, right? When we was kids and our mum and dad tell us off, "Why did you do that?" "I don't know." "You know it's not right." "I know." "So why did you just do that?" "Well, I don't know." Right? The reason is that you are programmed to behave the way that you behave. You're literally programmed that way, right? Now, you could walk into any business, any corporation, anywhere in the world, and you will find people in that business that are engaged in daily activities that are not producing the results that they want. You'll find a person that smokes, that desperately wants to stop smoking, but every time you see that person, you know, they're lighting up another cigarette. You'll find someone that's obese, eating foods that they don't want to eat, but they're still eating them anyway. Right? You'll find people in sales. You know, if you've got a business, it's all about sales, by the way. If you're not selling, you're not making money. And profit is the first order of business. Write that down. Profit is the first order of business. If your business is not making profit, it's going out of business. But you will find people, salespeople, complaining that they've got difficulty selling, but they're ignoring the sales procedures that all top salespeople go by. Right? You'll find business owners, you know, telling the staff members off, criticizing them, knowing that it's not going to benefit and it's going to ruin the morale of the company, but they continue to do it anyway. That's interesting, right? You ever ask yourself that? I mean, really dwell on that question for a minute. Why do we continually do things that produce the results that we don't want? And I'd love you to pop your answer in the chat. Why do you think that is? Why are we doing things that continually produce the results that we don't want, and we just keep doing them? You know, we're always social media posts, marketing, you know, making a logo look better and just avoiding like sales calls and avoiding asking people to buy. Frequency is the most addictive thing because human beings enjoy being comfortable. Anyone else want to take a guess? I mean, I'm going to tell you exactly why it is, and you might never have heard of this, but when you walk away from here, you're going to be like, wow, now I know what to do to change these non-productive actions within my life, within my business. Spencer said our programming. That's absolutely correct. The problem lies in paradigms. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've ever heard of the word paradigm. 5 years ago, I didn't have a clue what that word was. Most people don't. The problem lies in paradigms, right? Now, if you've never heard of the word, listen, I got kicked out of school at 13. What I'm teaching is not complicated, so I'm going to break it down so a 7-year-old could understand it, right? Your next door neighbor probably don't know what a paradigm is. Yet it's controlling pretty much their whole life. So we've got to learn what a paradigm is, right? A paradigm is just lots of ideas and habits that are fixed inside your subconscious mind. Let's think about this. Who lives with someone? I live with someone. If you watch them in the morning, I guarantee you could just tell me what their routine is. Every day it's the same. They put the left slipper on first, they go downstairs, they make a cup of tea. You know, everything's the same. We're creatures of habit. We're creatures of habit, right? Have you ever come across a person who's like, they kind of come across like dumb? Like they don't seem intelligent, but they're getting amazing results. Like they're making huge amounts of money. They've always got like the pretty girlfriend. You ever come across those type of people? Like some of them like can't even read, like the dyslexic and the multimillionaires. It's interesting, right? You get some people that go to university, have got all these business degrees, but they can't make more than £5,000 a month. And then you get someone that literally can't read and can't write, that builds a multi-million pound business, right? Well, you've got to understand that person has rather consciously or unconsciously changed the paradigm which enabled them to produce the results that you're observing. So your paradigm is just a mental programming that has almost exclusive control over your habitual behavior. And let's think about this. Almost all of your behavior is habitual. Almost all of your behavior is habitual. You can make money a habit, just like eating, just like drinking. We're creatures of habit. Just think about someone close to you. Everything they do is habitual, right? Now, what we've got to do is we've got to understand that we have been programmed. We've been programmed from an early age when our subconscious mind was wide open. And if the people around us believe that money is the root of all evil, money is hard to earn, you've got to work really hard to earn money, then you grow up as an adult and you have those ideas fixed inside of your subconscious mind. And because they're fixed inside of your subconscious mind, those ideas are real to you. Those ideas are real to you. When you're a baby, your subconscious mind cannot reject, it can only accept. Why do you think if you've got children, you can tell them that this fat white guy with a beard flies through the sky on reindeers and hops down your chimney and brings presents? Every kid believes that. Why? Because a child can't reject. They have to accept anything that you tell them. You got children right now. You want to be telling them you can earn as much money as you want when you're older. You can be anything. The child has to accept that. They can't reject it. The tooth fairy flies into the room and takes the tooth and leaves money. My daughter's 7 and I think she still believes that. My son's 3. He definitely believes it because we can't reject. Now, our paradigm, our programming was formed at a very early age. So you've got to ask yourself, in my household when I was younger, what were the conversations around money? What were the beliefs around money? Because the beliefs you've got, your parents have got, and your parents got them off those parents. Why do you think you like the food that you eat? If you're African, you probably like African food. I'm Jamaican. I like Jamaican food. We like it because we was given it at a young age before we had any conscious control over rejecting it. If we look at people on benefits and people on welfare, it goes back like 5 or 6 generations. You like the food you eat because your parents liked it. That's the only reason. It's interesting. Is this making you think a bit differently now about where your thoughts really come from, your beliefs really come from? Super interesting. Like with this paradigm as well, some cars, what is it called? They like have a cap on the car so it can't like drive over like 70 miles an hour. Well, that's what your paradigm's like. No matter how much you put your foot on the gas, you got this mental programming that just blocks the abundance coming your way, right? But what we've got to do, what we're going to do today is we're going to override that old paradigm that's been keeping you stuck. Now, you've got to understand as well, paradigms are very powerful. They're very powerful, right? And they have a tendency to talk you out of the decisions that you make. Have you ever been here and said, right, this is the month. It's the 1st of December. I'm going to make it happen this month. And you sit down and you plan out exactly what you're going to do, and then you don't follow through with what you said you was going to do. Yeah, is this hitting home? We get this great plan, right? I'm going to do this. I'm going to show up on social media. I'm going to market my business. I'm going to advertise. I'm going to set up calls. I'm going to, develop my sales skills. I'm going to hire that member of staff. And by the end of the month, we do none of it. Why? Because the paradigm is like a person in your own head that's against you. I want you to think about the income that you're making right now. And then think about the income you was making last year. And the year before that. And the year before that. And the year before that. You don't have to tell me. I know it's going to be similar. Why? Because the paradigm's in control. Right? Remember, there's an enormous difference between what most people know and what most people do. Write that down. There's a big difference between what most people know and what most people do. These people out there that, listen, I probably read one sales book in my whole life. These people out there that know more about sales than me. There's other, remember, I'm top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants, but these other consultants that have been consultants for 10 years, they know way more than me, but they don't get the results that I get, right? Because we're raised in a world, and when we went to school, the system focuses on information and then recognizes the person for how much they could remember. That's what school does. Okay, we're going to study this piece of paper for 3 months. You're going to remember it all. And then you're going to go in a room on your own and you're going to write the answers. And if you write enough answers correctly, you're going to get a passing mark. But just because you know something doesn't mean you're going to do it. I remember being sat in the sauna a few months back with some guy. And I don't know, he thought he was like a magician when it come to fitness and nutrition because he had been to, university and studied fitness and nutrition. I ain't been to no university and studied fitness and nutrition. And he's trying to tell me that a person with my physique can't get it naturally. And he was so out of shape. And I was like, look, I don't care what you know. I don't care what you've studied. I don't care how many years you've studied fitness and nutrition. There's a big difference between what you know and what you do. When I built my first company, it was an online fitness company. I was bringing in £18,000 a month cash collected. I didn't have no personal training qualifications. People didn't care about that anyway. They were just handing me money anyway. Why? Because I had the result. Would you rather get trained by a person who has been to university for 555 years and studied fitness and nutrition, but is really out of shape, or someone that's never studied fitness and nutrition, but has got like big biceps and it looks the way you want to look? Which one would you go for? You probably go for the person that's got the result that you want, right? Never take advice off anyone. Oh, did I put the whiteboard on? No. Can you take that off, please? Thank you. Listen, never take advice off anyone that has not got the results that you want. Never. I don't care if it's your mum, if it's your dad. If your mum don't know how to make money, do not go and ask your mum for advice on what you should do with money. Never. Go and find someone who has the results that you want. You would not learn how to drive a car without a licensed driving instructor who is experienced in that field. Would you agree? Don't be asking mum how to make £10,000 a month if your mum's only making £2,000 a month. It's just real. None of my family make good money. I don't ask nothing to do with money. Why am I going to ask someone that's not got the result that I want? If you want to get in shape, go and find someone that's in incredible shape and do what they tell you to do. Don't go and ask an obese person who eats Domino's pizza every night how to get a six-pack. The person doesn't know. And if they did know, what does it matter? You want the result. Is that making sense? Right? Now, we're now living in a world that isn't, we're not asked anymore about what you know. Who cares about what people know? The only people that are being recognized today are the ones who can do things, who get things done. It's like when it comes to helping business owners earn more money. I don't care how much I know about it. I just know that I help business owners make 5 figures, 6 figures every single month with ease. And that's all the business owner cares about. They don't care about how intelligent you are. They care about, can you help me get the result that I want? Okay. Now, this is where we're going to go into a bit of the mind as well. Now, psychologists, psychiatrists might tell you there's hundreds of parts to the mind, and I don't know. I mean, that's probably true, right? But we only want to focus on two parts of the mind. One of them is the conscious mind, and the other one is the subconscious mind, right? The conscious mind, let's bring the stick person into play. This is you. You might think it looks stupid. I don't care. I used to think it looked stupid. This has made me hundreds of thousands of pounds because this is you. And if you want to change your results, you're going to have to change you. So picture this top big circle is your mind, and this little circle is your body. Remember, the body is an instrument of the mind. If your mind is screaming, I can't do something, then your body's not going to do it. If your mind is screaming, I'm unstoppable, I can do it, then your body's going to take actions and do it. Okay. Now let's split the mind into two parts. Top half is your conscious mind, and your bottom half is your subconscious mind. Now, hooked up to your conscious mind, we've got these five little antennae sticking out of it, right? Now, they're your five senses. So you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, and you can touch. Now, as long as we live in this physical world, we need these physical senses to be able to live in this physical world. Would you agree? Now, there's some people out there that might only have four because they're blind, or they might only have four because they're deaf. But the majority of us, we have five senses that are working. We can see, we can hear, we can smell, we can taste, and we can touch, right? But what's happened? We've been raised to live through these five senses. We've been conditioned to go from what we hear, smell, taste, and touch. So if you turn on the news and say, and it says it's going to be a bad month for everyone this month in terms of money, you've been programmed to live from these five senses. Isn't that interesting? Super interesting. Now, the subconscious mind is the part of the mind that expresses whatever is impressed upon it. What are you thinking about? What are you impressing upon your subconscious mind? Is it, how's it going to happen? I can't see it. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, if you impress that upon your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind's going to execute it. Or are we impressing empowering thoughts? Goal card. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am earning. I am unstoppable. I am incredible. I am a goal achiever. What are these mental conversations that we're having with ourselves, right? Now, a paradigm is just lots of habits. It's a habit that is fixed in a person's subconscious mind that causes them to do something without any conscious thought. And a paradigm is what controls our habitual behavior. At times, we're doing things that we don't want to do, getting results that we don't want, but we do them anyway. This is because of the paradigm in the subconscious mind that controls our actions or behaviors. Do you know how much more effective you could be in your daily activities? Just think about that. Who's the richest man in the world? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, and them guys. I mean, God didn't bless them with 100 hours in a day. They've got the same amount of hours as you. They're being more productive, they're being more efficient. And it's not about working harder. To be honest, I've never worked as little in my life and earned as much in my life ever. Hard work isn't the answer. In fact, if you look at the people that are working really hard, you're going to see people making $400 every single month, building, I don't know, houses in Dubai in 38-degree weather, working 16-hour shifts. You'd agree with me that they're working really hard, right? Yeah, but they're not earning the most. Whereas if you look at wealthy people, they're on trips to Barbados, they take 6-week vacations, they go on golf trips, they're on the golf green, they're taking skiing trips. Why? Because when they are working, they're a lot more productive and they're getting other people and they're delegating and teaching other people how to do things as well. And that's how you start to earn more money when you're sleeping than you can actually spend when you're awake. Now, you might not believe that you can do that, but borrow my belief. Whatever you've made over the past 11 months, you can make that total amount in the next 28 days. I know you can. But first, you've got to believe it. And then we've got to look at our daily activities and say, okay, where is this programming controlling me? And believe me, it's controlling you. My paradigm controls me. I've got to constantly check on myself. Where am I not being productive? What habits can I replace for more productive habits? Okay. Now, for a person to experience permanent change in their personal and professional life, there must be a change in the primary cause of your results. Who thinks that the money you earn comes from the actions that you take every day? Who thinks that? Give me a yes in the chat. Who thinks that? The money that you earn comes from the actions that you take on a day-to-day basis within your business. Would you agree? Okay, cool, right? But we got to go deeper than that, right? The results that we're getting come from our actions. Yes, they do. But it's not the primary cause of your results. Let's take an obese person again. If they change their actions, they sign up to the gym, that's an action. They remove all the sweets from the house, that's an action. 2 weeks later, they're going to fall back into that old routine again because they didn't change the primary cause of the results, which is your subconscious mind. And go away and do your own research. The research shows our subconscious mind controls 95% of our thoughts, emotions, actions, and decisions. So that means that your paradigm and your subconscious controls 95% of your entire life. Like, it's really a black and white deal. Like, if you don't change your paradigm, then nothing's going to change. Okay? The only reliable way of changing your subconscious programming, aka your paradigm, is through the constant spaced repetition of new ideas over and over again, combined with the help of an experienced mentor. Think about it. Let me see. I can see Declan. I can see Bryce, right? But you're not Declan and you're not Bryce. Think about your name. That's not you. I mean, that's your name and it's something you're probably going to go by for the rest of your life, but that's not you. That's just an idea that your parents fixed inside of your subconscious mind when you was a baby. Now, if your parents would have said your name once in the first 2 years of your life, do you think you'd respond to it? No. By the time you were 2 years old, you probably heard your name a million times until that idea became fixed inside of your subconscious mind. Well, we've got to do the same thing with your goal. We've got to get your goal embedded into your subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind controls our vibration. It's the vibration that your body is on that dictates your actions and also dictates what you attract as well. Your main objective in life should be to change your subconscious mind. It controls your income. It controls your relationships. It controls your health. Controls absolutely everything. So let's get into that, right? Knowing is not enough to get results. I want you to write that down. Knowing is not enough to get you results. Going back to that obese person, they can know how to get into shape. Is knowing enough to get them into shape? Most people that are living unhealthy lifestyles They know they should quit the cigarettes. They know they should quit the junk food, but is knowing enough to get them the results? Hell no, because they keep doing it. Results come from behavior, and behavior is caused by the paradigm. Now, I love results when it comes to money. There's a great quote: men lie, women lie, your results never lie, right? Your results tell an interesting story. They tell the world an interesting story of how the person is programmed. If you want to know what frequency you're on, just take a look at your present results when it comes to your income. It's showing you what frequency you're on. The law of vibration decrees that we can only attract what we are in harmony with. So the income that you're currently attracting is showing you right now what you're in harmony with. It's the best way to measure what frequency you're on. Now, as your paradigm changes, the behavior changes, and then your results change. Okay? But I want you to think about this. And I want you to take a little 2 minutes to think about this. I want you, this is in your worksheet as well, but I want you to list 5 things that you know would grow your business that you haven't been doing consistently. And believe me, things are going to come to mind. Just write. List 5 things that you know would grow your business that you haven't done consistently. Is this getting on sales calls? Is it showing people, asking people to buy? You can't sell something if you never ask someone to buy it, right? You know, have you been thinking about raising your prices and you've not raised them? Have you been saying you're going to go to that networking event, put up that stall and advertise your products? Maybe, have you done a masterclass like what I do? Have you been showing up on YouTube, showing up on social medias with call to actions, giving people value, letting them know you've actually got something that is going to be of value to them? And if anyone feels confident enough to share one or two in the group chat, please do. When I used to go through this exercise, I used to see I'm going bed late. I'm making YouTube videos when I really should be, speaking to people, sparking conversations, seeing if they're the right fit for thinking into results and offering them the solution and asking them to buy the product. Nothing happens until we sell someone. You need to write that down. There's a big stigma with salespeople. Listen, selling is helping. I just went to the barber shop. The barber had to sell me to help me. I just got a beautiful 4-bedroom home. It's beautiful. I can't wait to move into it. The estate agents had to sell me the home to help me. So maybe a non-productive thing is you're going into sales calls with the mindset of, or I'm hassling this person. When you're not hassling them at all, they booked a call with you for a reason, and you're going to show them if they're the right fit, and if you feel they're going to do what they tell you to do. You're going to offer them the solution. Selling is helping. Nothing happens until you sell someone. If you're going to build a business, it's selling. You have to sell. It's the only way. If you're a fitness coach, you have to be able to sell that person before you can help them get into shape. So with selling, always go in with the mindset you are giving them a chance to say yes to themselves. Stop thinking about you. It's about that individual. How can you help them? How can you serve them? If you're going into sales calls and you're, calling on people with that vibration of, I just want your money, they're going to pick up on the vibration and they're not going to buy your product. You've got to go in from a place of service. You are there to help that person. Okay. You might have came up with a few things that you know would grow your business. Okay. What non-productive actions? Write down a few. What non-productive actions are you doing that are just habitual? You don't even have to think about them, that are non-productive. Remember, we can't just get rid of a non-productive action. We've got to replace it with a productive action. Okay? And then what you really want to be doing in your own time is you want to be writing down in as much detail as possible the results that you want in present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that I attract effective leads on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful that my income is getting better and better every single month. My sales are getting better and better every single month. Remember when we was little babies and mum and dad said Santa was real or the tooth fairy comes, we had to accept it. Well, your subconscious mind, through repetition, if you keep telling yourself you're a master salesman, money is attracted to me, your subconscious mind can't reject it. It's going to accept it, put you on the vibration of it, and then your actions align, but also what you attract changes as well. I mean, you're all on mute, and I don't care who's around you right now. Say it out loud. Money is attracted to me. Money is attracted to me. Now, there's probably something in your paradigm that's saying that's not a good thing to say. No, it's a fucking very, very good thing to say. Money is attracted to me. Money is attracted to me. Once your subconscious mind accepts that, you can't help but attract money. Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, he said, when money comes in big amounts, what we call the big money, it comes so quick and so fast that you wonder where it was all of those lean years. And I know from experience that is so true. You could be so close to a breakthrough right now. I've had times when it's looked like nothing is happening, and then within 2 hours of cash collected 15, 20,000 pounds. Wouldn't. That can happen to you too. But you've got to train your mind. You've got to think in terms of abundance. Remember, whatever is impressed is expressed. Are you letting your outside world control your thinking? If you're letting your outside world control your thinking, your income cannot improve. This is where your attitude comes into play. Does anyone know what attitude is? I mean, Thomas, don't you type, you're my client. Rob, don't you type. Mardier, don't you type. Does anyone know what your attitude is? Do you know what it's made up of? Let me know. I'll take a stab at it. Because growing up, I always heard people like, oh, this person's got a terrible attitude or this person's got an amazing attitude. But I never knew what attitude was. I thought it was just, some people, I don't know, have great attitudes and some people have shit attitudes. I didn't really know what attitude was. Your outlook on your future, leading with emotion. Yeah, you see, this is where I used to be, right? I'm going to tell you exactly what attitude is. And when I say it, you're going to be like, oh my God, that makes complete sense. Okay. Bring the stick person back into play, right? Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. Your subconscious mind is your feeling mind, your emotional mind. Remember, feeling is a word that we made up to describe the vibration we're on. If you're feeling abundant, all you can attract on that vibration is abundance. Okay. So, conscious mind is thoughts, subconscious mind is feelings, and whatever is going on in the subconscious mind must be expressed in the only way it can, which is with and through the body. So you've got thoughts, feelings, actions, they produce your results. So your attitude is the composite of your thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. So if you see someone with a bad attitude, you know They're having bad thoughts, which is producing bad feelings, which is producing bad actions, which is producing bad results. If you see someone with an amazing attitude, it means they're having amazing thoughts, amazing feelings, which produce amazing actions, which produce amazing results. As a business owner, you've got to build a bulletproof attitude. You see, when you're selling, when the money's flying in, it's easy. When you've got sales calls lined up, it's easy to have a great attitude. Successful people, the real leaders, have an even better attitude when things on the outside don't look like they're going well. Can you have thoughts of abundance when your outside world is telling you poverty? Can you have thoughts of health when the outside world is telling you illness? That's where the real power is. Now, no one can cause you to think something that you don't want to think. You can control every thought that you have. No one can cause you to think something that you don't want to think. When you get off a sales call with someone and they don't buy your product, how is your attitude around it? Is it, oh, I'm not good enough? I'm not good enough. That thought produces feelings of not being good enough. That sets up a vibration of not being good enough, causes you to attract more situations like that, but also causes your actions to change as well. And then you're probably going to shy away from selling your services. It all stems from your thinking. The difference between someone earning £5,000 a month and £500,000 a month is the way that they think. So you got to ask yourself, where are my thoughts? Where are my feelings? That's why, listen, I've got an inner circle dinner in Manchester on Saturday the 13th. Sam's going to be there. Sam's going to be there. If they don't have their gold card, no entry. Some of my clients are on this call. They'll tell you, you can't come on my client calls without your gold card. Why? Because we become what we think about. The gold card stops the paradigm, which is the habitual way of thinking. It stops it. So when you start worrying about money, when you start worrying about where your next sale is going to come from, no. Where are my thoughts right now? Where are my feelings? Where are my actions? If I am thinking about my goal, if I'm letting my goal dominate this part of my mind, which is conscious, that is going to produce feelings. Those feelings are going to produce new actions, and those new actions are going to produce new results. And then what are your results going to be? Whatever you wrote on that card. I don't care if it's 10,000 or 1,000,000. The idea, the image that you hold on the screen of your mind most often is what you're impressing. Whatever is impressed, it has to be expressed through your body within your actions and produce new results. Is this eye-opening for some of you? Is this helping? Okay. So what does it stem back to again? Our attitude, our thoughts, feelings, actions, results. If you want to change your results, don't try changing your actions. That's not the primary cause. The primary cause of your results are caused by actions. Actions are caused by feelings. Feelings are caused by what you're thinking about. This is why all the wise men, all the religious leaders, all the Stoic philosophers, dating back to when the earth was here, disagreed on everything apart from one thing, which is you literally become what you think about. You literally become what you think about. So what thoughts are you going to choose moving forward? Anytime that negative voice comes in, I want you to stop. Joel said, I can only think of prosperity. Oh, yeah, but you've got that loan to pay. You've got that debt to... No, Joel said to think of prosperity. I'm thinking of prosperity. All I think is prosperity. If all you think is prosperity, all you can attract is prosperity. Oh yeah, but I owe that person money. Or yeah, but like I'm looking at my calendar. There's no calls. But no. Joel said all I've got to think about is prosperity. If you do that, I promise you, your life will never be the same again. Mine never has been the same again. And what I found through studying me is that me and you are exactly the same. Your skin might be white, black, mine might be brown, but this is not me. The highest side of me you will never see. The highest side of you I will never see. You're a spiritual being. This is the body that I live in. This isn't me. You never hear someone say, I'm here, or I'm hand, or I'm leg. No, we say my ear, my hand, my leg. Who's my? It's interesting, right? That'll take you on a thought trip. Okay? You're a spiritual being. We moved into this body, we're going to move out of the body. But while we're here, why not give it everything we've got? If we look outside our window and we see the grass, we see the cars, we see the buildings, all the animals, all we see is abundance. So why are your pockets tight? Why are you not living the way you want to live, earning what you want to earn, if everywhere around us all we see is abundance? There's something going on in your subconscious mind that is blocking it. It's our human thinking. And it's a shame because not all of it we've created, our parents have created, and the people around us when we was younger have created. But it is our fault if we stay the same. You get to make the decision. From now on, all I think about is abundance. The only thoughts that I'm allowed to think are prosperity. You tell your mind that your mind will listen, right? Speak to your mind with some authority. When a negative thought comes up, you don't fight it. Just say, I see you, I release you, and I'm thinking of prosperity right now. I'm thinking of abundance. I am a goal achiever and I always make things happen. I don't wait for the circumstances, I create circumstances. When you start speaking to yourself like that, you become absolutely unstoppable. And I believe in every single one of you. I want to see us all win. That's why I became a consultant for Bob Proctor's company. I was already doing okay, but I couldn't live with having all of this inside of me and not seeing yous live that way. I want messages from all of you saying, wow, can't believe it. It's happened. That's how I feel every single day. I'm living in the house that I want to live in. I've got the girlfriend that I wanted. I've got the car that I want. I've got the watch that I want. You know, don't never bargain with life. What are we bargaining with life for? You're God's highest form of creation. Anything any other human being has got, you can have. If you have the belief that you can have it. But you've got to believe. It can't be a hope or a wish. It's got to be belief. And I can only talk from my own experience of how difficult I found changing my paradigm. And that's me being completely transparent. I tried on my own for 6 years. I was attending master classes like this. I was studying Bob Proctor's material. And for 6 years, my income didn't change. I was still making 15K a year. My ex-partner was still paying most of the rent. I still wasn't going on holidays. Nothing changed. And what I found is that information is not enough. Like we've just discovered, knowing is not enough. Results are the name of the game. And someone once asked Bob on stage, is it possible to change your subconscious mind, your paradigm on your own? And Bob thought about it and he said, I don't believe in the word impossible, but for the 55 plus years that I've studied paradigms, I've never come across anyone that has changed their paradigm on their own. I don't know anyone, you might know, but I don't know anyone that has studied the subconscious mind and paradigms more than my late mentor, Bob Proctor. I've never come across anyone. And he said he's never found anyone that's changed their paradigm on their own. Now, it's easy to say, yeah, whatever, but I've just got to go through my own experience. I was attending things like this. I was stuffing my mind with all these books. I was reading like a book every 3 days. This year, I've read about 5 books because I understand it's not about information. It's accountability, it's environment, and it's implementation. That's what's going to turn your yearly income into a monthly income. Who believes they can do that? Your belief should be growing now through exposure to this information. Who believes that? What are we in December? What's the 5th month? May. April. May. Yeah, who believes that by the 1st of May 2026, they can earn what they're earning in a year, a month? Give me a yes in the chat. Yeah? Love that. Love the energy. Okay. Right? I love that. Right? Here's the thing. I know you can. And you know you can. Me and you have got to work together to get your subconscious mind to believe it. Consciously, you believe you can do it. Subconsciously, you don't believe you can do it. Now, bear with me. If your subconscious mind believed that you could earn in a month what you currently earn a year, you would know about it. Do you know why? Because you would see it in your results. When your subconscious mind changes, your results change and it happens fast. So I know you can do it. I can show anyone how to do that. But we've got to convince your subconscious mind that you've already done it. And that's done for a process. So for those of you, I mean, some of you might have been on the call yesterday as well. I mean, I'm posting this link for one-to-one calls with me. I've not actually checked to see if there's any left. I know a lot of you have taken one already. But listen, make a decision. I ain't gonna do this alone. I'm gonna get help. I'm gonna find someone that's got the results that I want, and I'm just gonna do what Joel tells me to do. I'm gonna trust him. Listen, if you came to my house and asked me to go and cut the grass outside or fix a light, I'd tell you you're speaking to the wrong person. All right? I'm not good at anything apart from changing people's subconscious minds. It's all I care about. And your income is determined by the vibration that you're radiating on right now. Is this making sense? Right? So there might be a few left, there might be not. But like I said yesterday, grab one of them calls. I'm going to show you exactly how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And I'm going to show you the unconscious blocks that are keeping you stuck. Listen, I take people through the best program in the world, but it's not for going from making 10% more income. Right? If you want to go from £10,000 a month to £12,000 a month, you want to go and see someone else, not me. I'm not playing about with them. We've already spoke about C-type goals, taking massive quantum leaps. This isn't for everyone, though, right? It's not for someone that's going to go, you know what, I'm just going to do 50% of what Joel tells me to do and see how it goes. No, don't even book the call if you're thinking about that. If you give me 100% and do what I tell you to do, I promise you your life will never be the same again. And I'm getting emotional saying it. Do you know why? Because I went through this. I'm now top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants worldwide. I went through this program as a client. And guess what? My life has never been the same again. I was making £15,000 a year. I was broke. I was a bum. I was just smoking weed, going nowhere with my life. When I made that decision, and I didn't have the money, right? If it's money you're worried about, you go and book that call anyway. You never need the money. That's how unsuccessful people make decisions. I'll do this when I've got the money. No, the only prerequisite to making a decision is, do you want to do it? That is it. But we've got to become massive decision makers. Okay. Tomorrow, we're really going to dive into decision as well. Because I used to be a terrible decision maker. I mean, terrible. When I get my haircut, can you see how I get it shaped? When I was younger, my dad never let me get it shaped, like when I was a kid. So in other words, my dad didn't let me make decisions for myself, right? My daughter's 7. I never make decisions for her. She goes, Dad, what do you think I should do? I go, I don't know. What do you think you should do? Because I don't want her to get to an adult like I was, and I'm a grown man, and I'm walking around asking people, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? So tomorrow we're gonna get into self-image and decision making as well. All successful people that accumulate money, they make decisions very fast, and they're not my words. They're Napoleon Hill's. The biggest chapter in the book is on decision making. So I want to dive into that, and also in terms of your action step, right? I want you to post in the WhatsApp group the one realization that's hit you the hardest today. You might have to watch this again and again and again. If I was you, I'd never stop watching this. And then post in the WhatsApp group the new thought that you're going to entertain moving forward. What is that new thought that's just your default thinking? Remember, 24/7 apart from when you sleep, your conscious mind is always on. That's why even when you're listening to me, you've got that voice in your head. You can't stop thinking. That's your conscious mind, your thinking mind. That is what's shaping your reality. So, with your conscious mind, what thought are you going to allow to stay in here? Default. This is all you think about. I want you to post that in the WhatsApp group, because naming it is the first step to making it your default way of thinking. Like, as soon as I stop talking, all I hear in my mind is, I am prosperity. I'm the best at what I do. I always do more than I'm paid to do. And it's just positive thoughts. And this is how I want you to be as well. Because it's those inner conversations that no one else hears, that are creating your reality. Okay. Tomorrow, we're gonna go into self-image and decision. I'll probably tell you about the opportunity to book a call tomorrow again. But like I said, they might not be there. But make that decision. Grab one and say to yourself, do you know what? What's the best that can happen here? Because I know one phone call about 2.5 years ago, that decision changed my life. I've never been the same. Never been the same. Right? I'm gonna send them the recording over. Also, let me send you. Did I send you the? For those of you that are not in the WhatsApp group that have only joined for day 2, we're gonna go live tomorrow for the last day at 6 p.m. UK time, and let's do this. Listen, I don't know what time of day it is or night. Everything you think until tomorrow at the masterclass is prosperity. When that negative voice comes in, nah, Joel said prosperity. I'm only thinking about prosperity. Yeah, but you've got that upcoming bill. No, prosperity, prosperity. And you keep overriding it until it just becomes your dominant thinking is prosperity. And I want you to go and give something before tomorrow as well. The richest people give the most. Go and give something. Go and donate £5, £10, £100 to charity. This is the laws of the universe. It's circulation. If I told you how much money I've spent already today, you'd probably pass out, right? But I understand the law of circulation. I'm always circulating money. What happens to the blood in your body if it stops circulating? What would happen to you? Night, night, and you're never going to wake up again, right? You're going to die. Well, what do most people do with the money? Ah, I'm just going to hold it, and you stop it from circulating. No, money's got to circulate. You've got to willingly give, and you've got to graciously receive. Because when we're always holding on to money, we're telling the universe we don't believe more's on the way. I always release money. I release it with joy. I send it forth without fear. For I know that under a divine law, this money always comes back to me increased and multiplied. What a great affirmation. And start blessing your money. Start thanking it. You know, anything that we bless, anything that we praise expands. What happens when we praise a dog? When we praise our children? Even if we praise flowers, they last more, they grow more, they're more vibrant. Start blessing your money. Thank you, money. Thank you for everything that you've done for me in my life. I'm so grateful for everything I've already got, and I'm so grateful for what's on the way. Are you with me? All right, let's do this. I'm going to send the recording over. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time. You know, another business owner, call them now. Say, listen, this is crazy what I'm involved with here. You need to get on this at 6 p.m. UK time tomorrow. There ain't nothing like this information. It'll change your life. Okay? Right, tomorrow, guys. In fact, before I go, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Anyone got any questions that they want to put in the chat or unmute? More than happy to I want to make sure you feel completely supported. Or are we all good? We're all good? Okay, amazing. Right, tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time. I'll see you then, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.